Hello, beautiful people around the world. They keep climbing family. I hope all of you are blessed, well, and healthy, and that nothing but the best is going on in all you beautiful people's life, man. We have another amazing request and kind donation sent in by the beautiful Suzanne. Thank you, Suzanne, for the blessings, the love, the support. And this is to check out the man who lost $204 million on a trip to Vegas. Oh man, now this video is by Sunny V2. I will leave the original link down in the description box down below. But without further ado, oh man, let's get into this, man. That's a lot of change, ain't it? A lot of change. Oh man, that could change somebody's life.
In 2007, 20% of Caesars Palace Casino revenue came from one single person, Terrence Watanabe. Born 1957 in Omaha, Nebraska, Terrence began life as the son of Harry Watanabe, who founded one of the most successful carnival suppliers in American history, called the Oriental Trading Company. At the age of 15, Terrence began working for his father, and by the age of 20, Terrence had been given the role of CEO, after which he'd add an incredible amount to the business. By shifting the focus toward party products, Terrence was able to grow the business from 17 local stores to a company generating $25 million per month. The only problem was Terrence had spent most of his life doing so and had therefore experienced almost nothing outside of work. The job was all-consuming, say former associates. He traveled for long stretches of time examining merchandise in Asia. He never married. His sister and others who know him say they don't believe he ever had a significant romantic relationship. This was his life, that company. It engulfed him. Having burnt out by the age of 4.
Sheesh. Man. The company, it's no life, just the company, just the work, just the job. Man, poor fella. Poor fella.
43, Terrence put his share of the company up for sale, eventually selling for an undisclosed amount in October 2000, after which the goal was to have a charitable and fun retirement. Mr. Watanabe said his plan was to throw himself into his philanthropic work and have more fun. If it's not fun, it's not worth doing, Mr. Watanabe told his hometown newspaper, the Omaha World Herald, in 2000. He then created the Terry K. Watanabe Charitable Trust before donating millions to AIDS and cancer research, as well as various political causes. However, having worked all day every day for over 20 years in a complex business, Terrence found little satisfaction in this new line of work. Donations from his foundation grew, but he soon became restless. Several business ideas, including opening a restaurant, went nowhere. He didn't know what to do with his time, says his sister, and as the old saying goes, an idle mind is the devil's playground. With nothing else to do, Terry began a new hobby of spending large amounts of cash, purchasing one of Omaha's largest and most notable homes, which featured 9 bedrooms, 18 bathrooms, a gourmet kitchen, a custom wine cellar, and a 3-story elevator, but it was rather a venue.
A 3-story elevator, oh man.
Near this mansion that became his biggest financial danger. Terry began to travel across the border from Omaha to Council Bluffs, Iowa, so he could gamble at the Caesars Horseshoe Casino, which is self-described on its website as a true gambler's paradise, featuring an expansive round-the-clock casino floor, an 18-table poker room, a full-service Caesars sportsbook, and one-of-a-kind gaming areas. Terrence,
have any of y'all ever been there? Y'all comment down below. Let me know how much money you lost.
became, quote, one of the casino's top customers and began devoting himself to gambling full-time as his primary income and livelihood source. However, with his level of disposable income, hosts at the Iowa casinos encouraged Mr. Watanabe to play at the Rio and other Harrah's-owned casinos in Las Vegas. Having struggled to launch any new businesses, Terrence began to frequent Las Vegas beginning in 2005, where his existing gambling habit was intensified and joined with a drinking habit, satisfied only by a luxury vodka brand called Jewel of Russia, which retailed at over $200 per bottle. In that very same year, billionaire Steve Wynn opened the luxury Wynn Las Vegas, and by 2006, 1 year later, Terrence had spent so much money at the venue that the two arranged to meet. Remarkably, Steve concluded that Terrence was a, quote, compulsive gambler and alcoholic, leading Steve to ban Terry from the casino. However, given this was no fix for Terry's addiction, this simply became an opportunity for other venues in the area. Terry decided to take his money over to Caesars Palace, Palace, where a marketing executive promised to give him substantially more advantageous arrangements than the Wynn with respect to player comps, rebates, and other incentives, after which the casino created specifically designed incentives to keep Terry gambling at their venue. He was given tickets to the Rolling Stones, $12,500 a month for airfare, and $500,000 in credit at the gift stores. Haraz also offered 15% cash back on table losses greater than $500,000, special high-limit games, and other incentives. Mr. Watanabe resided for free in a 3-bedroom suite at Caesars, had access to his favorite bartender, and was constantly surrounded by attendants to serve his every need, such as a 7-course meal from the casino's Bradley Ogden restaurant, delivered to him while he was gambling, with these attendants later telling legendary stories about his behavior while gambling. Al DeLeon and Christian Kunda, 2 of Mr. Watanabe's personal handlers at Caesars, say he had thousands of Tiffany gift boxes filled with $50 gift cards or $100 gift coins that he would hand out to bartenders, nightclub operators, security guards, and others. They say he once told a security guard to go to a supermarket and buy every cut of steak, and then proceeded to hand them out to employees. Caesars Palace high rollers of this magnitude are often given exclusive loyalty program status called 7-Star, where members are wowed by all the fantastic benefits afforded to them, with additional rewards and all-round bigger and better perks, yet the casino then literally created a new tier above this called Chairman, of which only Terrence Watanabe had the status of joining. Having been handed what you might call the ultimate life, Terry decided to stay in Vegas, yet with no intervention and nothing else to do, the severity of his habit began to get out of control. Several employees say Mr. Watanabe would stay at the tables for up to 24 hours, sometimes losing as much as $5 million in a single binge. He was allowed to play 3 blackjack hands simultaneously, with a $50,000 limit for each hand, and if he won, Mr. Watanabe says he regularly handed out to Caesars employees bundles of $100 bills that could total as much as $20,000. In the meantime, Terry was visited by a former casino host from his hometown who explained that Terry appeared disoriented and couldn't remember the conversations they'd had in the past. He'd add that Terry was often seen stumbling around the casino or falling asleep at tables placed right beside loud nightclub music, yet the most notable observation regarded the type of machines that Terry liked to play. According to one of his former assistants, Terrence rejected any skill-based casino game like poker and instead gravitated toward games with low odds, including roulette and slots. He was considered a house player because slots and roulette are house games. They have terrible odds for the player, and the way he played blackjack, he made it a house game. He made such bad decisions on the blackjack table, but it was only when his brother and sister came to visit for Thanksgiving 2007 that he talked about just how much these bad choices had cost him. In the 11 months since the beginning of the year, Terrence Watanabe had lost $127 million. Under the assumption that Terry had more money somewhere, the casino then gave him a $17 million loan, although this by itself should have been a sign that he was almost out of money. On the 23rd of January 2008, just weeks after telling family about his losses, Terrence put his Omaha mansion up for sale while continuing to chase his losses in Vegas. He managed to sell the home for a price of $2.66 million, however, at this point it was already too late. Terrence Watanabe was completely out of money. He'd wagered $4.2 million in 2005, $81 million in 2006, $825 million in 2007, and when his family brought him back to Omaha in early 2008, Terry had lost more than anybody else in Las Vegas history, with the 3-year trip costing him a total of $204 million. To make matters worse, Terrence had no job or income yet still owed the casino $14.7 million, after which Terry put the blame back onto Caesars, stating that his losses were their fault. Mr. Watanabe alleges that during this period, Haraz not only didn't make him leave when he was drunk, but applied him with alcohol and prescription drugs to encourage him to stay and gamble, leading Terry to launch a lawsuit against the casino. Court documents explain Caesars served Mr. Watanabe 2 to 3 750ml bottles of Jewel of Russia vodka per—
That old Jewel of Russia vodka. Oh man, that's that good stuff, ain't it, people? That good stuff, huh? One of y'all might need to order me some and send it to me. You can send it to my front. Oh, I forgot you can't send alcohol through Amazon, huh? Dang. Well, somebody, you know, I'll send you my address. We'll figure it out. You know, I might have to go up to what's that place called? What's that liquor store called up the street? Might have to go to Specs. Specs, man. Go and give me. They sell it at Specs. Somebody tell me in the comments, do they sell it at Specs, man? You know, goshly. That old Russian vodka.
Per day, every day. No Caesars employee ever limited or cut off Mr. Watanabe's drinking, despite the fact that he was almost always visibly severely intoxicated when he was being served while gambling. On at least one occasion at Caesars in 2007, a concerned companion of Mr. Watanabe, Stuart Mitchell, pulled aside his cocktail waitress and pled with her to water down Mr. Watanabe's drinks. The cocktail waitress refused and curtly responded, "Terry gets whatever he wants." Mr. Watanabe had at least 2 drinks at his table at all times, so that he could be kept in a constant state of intoxication while gambling. Mr. Watanabe's photographs were posted in the employees only section of the casino in order to ensure all employees recognized him and never refused him anything. Caesars employees never attempted to limit or cut off Mr. Watanabe's drinking or restrict his gambling because they understood that any interference with his drinking or gambling could cost them their jobs. In response to the lawsuit, a spokesperson for the casino stated, "We're in the gambling business. We had no reason to believe that Terry Watanabe was anything other than a big player with huge resources who made an adult decision to bet the money he did. Are we going to provide an environment that keeps him very happy? Of course we are." The casino then launched criminal proceedings against Terry, meaning that on top of everything, he was now facing up to 28 years in prison for the unpaid $14 million. An article was then published in the months that followed, announcing that both Terry and the casino had each dropped their lawsuits. However, Terry's life never recovered afterwards.
My name is Terry Watanabe. I've been diagnosed with prostate cancer.
On the 29th of July 2017, Terry announced that he had cancer, hoping to raise $100,000 on GoFundMe for treatment, with a description reading, "I've accepted my situation and do not pity myself. But my hope is that you'll find it in your heart to forgive me for my past and help me live long enough to help others in the future." Attached was a video talking about how bad things have become.
I unfortunately don't have the funds to survive. I'm almost homeless. I have no medical insurance.
Although despite this, he was unable to reach his goal, yet still managing to raise an impressive $28,000. In January 2020, Terry joined Twitter before stating, "Today I try to live a good life and be a good man. Despite my past flaws and mistakes, I've always sought to do good and help people. I hope I can still have a positive impact on those in the future by sharing my story, both highs and lows, funny and sad moments," showing that Terry, quite impressively, now took full responsibility for his own mistakes.
Wow. What a story. What a life. Wow. Oh man, that was in 22. That was like what, 3 years ago from the last update. We'll definitely have to follow up with what's going on with that fella. But wow. I mean, from 20 years old to being a CEO. You know, from daddy, passed on down and turning the company into making $25 million a month, I'm pretty sure he went through a lot of headaches, a lot of just stuff thrown at him, running a big business like that, it gets, and then, it'll mess with your mental health very, very bad, man. That fella went through a lot. That was a very, very interesting video. Man, I love y'all. Y'all sent some amazing stuff. Shout out to Sunny V2. I will leave the original link down below. But wow. Someone says this guy was definitely just 1% away from winning a gazillion dollars. A gazillion dollars. This is such a sad story. The guy doesn't even sound like a bad person. Just someone who was extremely lonely with no real human connection. That's kind of what I felt too, man. And that's why I tell y'all, man, you never judge anybody, man. You never judge anyone. And on this channel, no one is judged. Everyone is loved. We don't care where you come from, what you've done in your past. We don't care what your skin color is. We don't care what your age is, how tall you are, how short, how big, how skinny. Everyone is loved and accepted on this channel, man. But that was a sad story. I'm not gonna lie to you. Wow. But we got any gamblers in the chat? Y'all let me know we got any gamblers in the chat. I'm wishing that if y'all go gambling, I hope everybody hits big. You know what I'm saying? I hope everybody hits big, win a big lump sum, and that you're able to feed your family, help others, and do whatever you got to do to make it in this life. Yes, indeed. But hey, I love y'all. Y'all have an amazing rest of y'all day. Take care of yourself. Beware of your surroundings. Be safe and get home safe. I love y'all, and I'll catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace and love, y'all.